the dizzy and chaotic carnival ride that is Donald Trump's America continues to careen down shit show hill. It's f***ing madness out there. TSA lines longer than your actual trip. Escalating threats in the Middle East. Planes driving into trucks. The only thing giving me joy is looking forward to this season of The Bachelorette. I mean, they've got a strong Mormon woman. She seems lovely. I hope that she finds... Hold on a second. I'm getting a call. No! But luckily, in everything that is going wrong in our country, our intrepid leader is utterly unbothered. The world disintegrates around him, largely due to his actions. Yet he still managed to spend the weekend golfing a couple of times and partying at Mar-a-Lago.
I didn't know I was going to be here today. I am supposed to be prosecuting a war.
You know, I really think that the less fun we're all having, the better he seems to be doing. Does he run on our misery? Does that make him stronger? Now, to be fair, that was the weekend. Obviously, today is Monday, the only day of the work week. It's time to focus and get down to the sobering business of wrapping up this war.
President Trump now arriving at Graceland for a bit of a detour on his stop.
Elvis had 2 8th-degree black belts in karate. One was in Kempo, and that's what this
Was he really good, or was it just...
Actually, he was really good.
Okay.
He started practicing.
Could I have taken him in a fight?
Which Elvis are we talking about? 1950s Elvis? No. 1970s Elvis? Still no. It's unbelievable how disconnected Donald Trump is from the chaos that he himself is causing the American people. But I'm glad you could have a nice time golfing and visiting Graceland while we're all freaking the out.
President Trump issues a deadline to open the Strait of Hormuz by Monday night, or he says he'll, quote, obliterate Iranian power plants.
Iran isn't blinking, saying if power plants are attacked, Iran will target the power plants of regional countries.
This escalates every day with no end in sight.
The countdown ticks towards Monday night.
Oh, Monday. We've got plenty of time to wait. If I'm here, that must mean... But lo and behold, today Trump removed the sword of Donald Cleese that he himself had hung over our heads.
The president just posting moments ago, he has now decided to, quote, postpone any and all military strikes on Iranian power plants.
The president claiming the U.S. has been negotiating with Iran over the weekend, calling them in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations.
Oh, well, I guess we're all going to have a little less action and a little more conversation. That's right. Boys, 2, 3, 4.
A little less conversation.
That's all we get due to budget constraints, unfortunately. But you know what? Take a step back. You know, it's a good news story. It's a sigh of relief for everybody. It's progress. And we've got to celebrate the wins, you know, in this war. It's like our friend Punch. You remember our friend Punch? Yeah, I agree. We brought Punch up previously. Well, good news.
Does Punch the monkey have a girlfriend? Punch has been spotted canoodling with a female monkey. There they are, hugging and kissing and affectionately playing with each other.
Fantastic. It's really nice. Although, hey, listen, girl, straight talk. I know what you're thinking, but girl, you can't fix him. You just... Punch, seriously, if you're watching, I am happy for you, but little advice. Prenup! You're a famous guy now, and you don't want to end up splitting your fortune in half. I guess that's not quite half. But back to escalating. Oh, God, do I really have to? But back to Iran. Escalating tensions in the Middle East. I must applaud the president for stepping back from the cliff of escalation and engaging Iran in productive talks.
Iran has responded, its state media saying there are no talks.
Well, now we're in the uncomfortable position of who to believe. Normally in this situation, I think we'd all be inclined to, in some measure, not trust the pronouncements coming from this theocratic and corrupt regime. Iran. Talking about Iran. For clarity, I just want to, it's not Iran. We'd be inclined not to trust Iran. So let's give our president the benefit of the doubt and just probe a little deeper. Sir, you say we're having talks with Iran. Who did you talk to?
A top person.
A top person? Or the top person? The article really makes a huge difference here. Like, the guy or some f***ing guy?
It's a little tough. We've wiped out everybody.
So a lower level guy who's been elevated to a higher echelon, a bottom who is now a top, versatile, but not stop it. Or I will rip your stuffed monkey in half. So you're talking to a guy, but not the top guy, not the supreme leader.
No, not the supreme leader, but the people that seem to be running it.
Again, running it or seem to be running it. It's a big difference. Hey, where's our car? Oh, I gave it to the guy who seems to be the valet. He had a jacket, he was standing by the curb, seemed like a top guy, and he did take the car. What made you think he was the top guy when you had the talks with him?
Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them.
So you didn't even talk to them. Your guys, who quite frankly don't seem like top guys, talk to their seemingly somewhat top guy. Are Jared and Steve sure this is even a real person that they're talking to? Out of curiosity, did the top Iranian guy ever ask for their social security numbers? Or Target gift cards? Is their top guy's name, by any chance, Ali Baba Booey? Because it's sounding like bullshit. Maybe if you walk us through the details, it'll feel more real.
You said there's many points of agreement with Iran right now.
Many.
What, can you give us a
Many, like 15 points. 15 points.
Like 15? Or 15? God damn it, why do we fucking have to do this? What are we doing? Well, looks like the creatine is working. I only only eat meats and ferments. Seriously, like 15 or 15? Just keep going. What's the first point?
Well, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. That's number one. That's number 1, 2, and 3.
I want to believe this is real, but there's no way that your 15-point agreement, 1, 2, and 3 are no nuclear. First of all, that makes it a 13-point agreement, just right off the bat. And there's no way you went to Iran and were like, all right, first point, no nuclear weapons. And point number 2, same. Point number 3, see, point number 2. That's what we're supposed to believe.
They will never have a nuclear weapon.
You said yes to that?
They've agreed to that.
Look, Donald Trump is without a doubt one of the most prodigious liars this country has ever produced. He's our supreme misleader. But the chaos this very actual war is creating is making us question even his reality-distorting powers. Let's step back into the Wayback Machine. All the way back, I don't know, June, when Israel and the United States first bombed Iran's nuclear program.
We wiped out the nuclear capability of Iran, obliterated it. It was obliterated like nobody's ever seen before. I would say it's set back permanently. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. They're never going to have nuclear.
Never. Permanently. Obliterated. I'm sorry, Caitlin Collins, you have a question.
You obliterated their nuclear sites last summer with your strikes. Then how can you argue it was an imminent threat now?
Oh, we hit them so hard, we obliterated them. But that doesn't mean with the right equipment, you can't dig down and go get it.
Actually, I think it's exactly what it means. That's what it... God damn it. It's so annoying. It's so unbelievably annoying. Here we go. To obliterate, to destroy completely, leaving nothing behind. There's nothing in here about, well, we completely obliterated it, unless they have shovels. Like... By the way, nuclear question aside, are they even opening the Strait of Hormuz? Isn't that what prompted your apocalyptic ultimatum in the first place?
That'll be opened very soon if this works.
How soon? And who's in control of it? Will Iran still be able to control the flow of oil?
Be jointly controlled.
By who?
Maybe me. Maybe me.
You want the United States to be
me and the Ayatollah, whoever the Ayatollah is.
Coming soon. From Skydance, Paramount Brothers, Amazon, Comcast. Two bitter enemies put aside their differences and learn that oil's fair in love and war. Will opening a strait open their hearts? Premieres on Paramount Plus minus divided by. And has already been canceled. Jesus. What the? Oh, maybe I'll run it with the Ayatollah, like two bridge trolls. Whoever wants to take oil to sea must answer me these riddles 3. Here's what I hate. I hate how these questions of great importance and consequence to our country he handles with such shitty glibness. Maybe I'll run it. Aren't I a little stinker? I bombed Iran. Can't you just eat me up with a spoon? Meanwhile, here in America, we don't even need a war to degrade our own infrastructure. Our airports are collapsing all by themselves.
The Fox News alert, chaos erupting at America's airports.
This line in Atlanta showing people lined up around midnight for flights leaving this morning.
I've been here almost 2 hours.
3.5 hours to do that. We might not make it.
My flight is boarding right now.
Oh, no.
Way ahead of you, kid. no. That should be the left's new "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Oh no. American travelers are so stressed out. What incredibly uncontroversial American enforcement agency could we deploy to... Oh, you're way ahead of me. I believe the audience in mass just went, oh no. What agency could we deploy to our airports to ease passengers' journey?
This morning, the Trump administration is now deploying ICE agents to help TSA officers.
Oh no! We're sending in ICE agents to calm the situation. It makes perfect sense. It's kind of like the way we calm our dogs during thunderstorms with a blanket of fireworks. You're okay, Rusty. Oh no! Not to worry, our incredibly competent government knows exactly how these ICE agents can help alleviate these incredibly long TSA lines, right? Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy?
We have ICE agents who are trained and can provide assistance to agents. They run those same type of security machines at the southern border.
Oh, great. Well, that'll be really helpful if it's true. Is it true? Guy in charge of ICE?
ICE isn't trained in X-rays and look at X-rays, see if there's, is something dangerous in that luggage. Well, no kidding, and we're not going to be doing that.
ICE isn't trained on X-rays. No surprise, they don't really seem to be trained on anything, actually. And by the way, who the honestly, who the even thought it was a good idea to send America's most hair-trigger agency into America's most hair-raising environment?
Whose idea was that? Put ICE at the airport.
That was mine.
What in God's name possessed you to do that?
That was like the paperclip. You know the story of the paperclip?
How many more years of this shit? Go ahead.
182 years ago, a man discovered the paperclip. It was so simple. And everybody that looked at it say, why didn't I think of that? ICE was my idea.
Right now in Iran, they're going, are we talking to a top guy? Because I don't think this is a top guy. Yeah, we were talking about negotiating nuclear, and then he just went off on f***ing paper clips. Why did I bomb Iran? Well, do you know the story of 2,000 flushes blue? Well, for centuries, people shit in regular water. And then one day a guy said, what if it was blue? And that's why I bombed Iran. It's so f***ing stupid. Meanwhile, the rest of us suffer under Donald Trump's attention deficit style of government by whim. And as America, and really the world, has to helplessly navigate the turbulence that Trump causes, his administration, I shit you not, this weekend, had a message for all those who are suffering.
I think that given what has been done to President Trump and his family, it is impossible for either of us to understand what he has been through. We should all have a little empathy for what has been done to him and his family.
I think we have to offer the president grace.
He needs grace. In fact, maybe let him live in a land of grace. Graceland. Where he can live his life out asking the important questions.
Does Elvis get treated better than me?
He's dead, sir.
Let's kick things off with an update in our war with Iran. It started about a month ago, and today President Trump spoke to the nation with some good news about the war.
They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize.
Wait, you got a gift from the people you are currently at war with. When I was at school and they made us read the Odyssey, I couldn't believe the Trojans fell for that Trojan horse. And now I'm watching it happen in real time. The Secret Service is going to be like, Mr. President, please don't bring that to the Situation Room. But it's expensive. And it's ticking. I bet it's a watch. Meanwhile, the only gift the TSA is getting is no pay. The partial government shutdown means they've gone a whole month without a check. But why do we work if not to do it for free? You know? I'm sure it's not going to make a difference at the airport.
Frustration is growing at many of the nation's airports with hours-long security lines that haven't let up. Over the weekend, more than 3,400 TSA officers called out nationwide, the most since this partial government shutdown began.
I've been here since 9 last night.
It's just mass chaos.
A damn mess. It's a mess. It's a mess for real, though. Ain't no water, not a Biscoff cookie, nothing.
A Biscoff cookie? The cookie they give you on a plane that you then throw on the floor and step on? I think you've been in line so long you're delirious. I've been here for hours. If only I could have something dry and crumbly in my mouth. You know, something that really goes down the throat like sandpaper and tastes like ass. What could be worse than waiting in line for 4 hours?
Our next guest's flight was at 10:45 p.m., and he did everything right. He got to the Atlanta airport at least 4 hours early, but he says he didn't get through security until 3:20 the next morning.
9 hours? Someone waited in TSA for 9 hours. You may not have started in that line as a terrorist, but after 9 hours... This man waited in line for the length of a shift. That means he saw the TSA agent clock in from a distance. And right as he got to the front, they clocked out in his face. By the time I get that pat down, it better be the best one I've ever had in my life. I'm talking full release, all right? If this is what flying is going to be like from now on, you may as well go to the airport now, just in case you ever have a flight someday. But seeing how long the lines have gotten, Trump decided he had to do something. Now, the good news is that Trump sent in people to help TSA. The bad news is those people are ICE. And yesterday, they were sent to airports to start helping. So let's see what they've been doing.
They appear to just sort of be hanging out, milling around, visiting with each other, unclear about what their mission is at the airport.
Walking around the airport, some are standing around in groups talking amongst themselves, some are walking in and out of security.
They are not helping get people through the line themselves. They've been standing next to TSA agents as people get checked in, but they're not doing the work of actually physically checking people in.
You're telling me ICE agents are showing up to the airport and doing absolutely nothing? Well, then it's my honor to present the award for Most Improved Agency. You're not doing anything, and honestly, thank God. Keep doing what you're not doing. Now, maybe this is the best possible scenario for ICE. Sending them to the airport can be like an after-school program for them, you know? I know they're just standing around, but it's keeping them off the streets. Look, it was always obvious that sending ICE into the airports wasn't going to help. The problem is that TSA workers aren't getting paid, so they're quitting and calling out sick. Having other random federal agencies still not being TSA isn't going to fix that.
We will also bring out, if we don't have enough, we will bring out the National Guard and, where we need it to help out at the airports.
No, stop sending more agencies. You're not going to make the security line shorter. You're just going to make the Starbucks line longer. Who are you going to send in next? Space Force? IRS? RFK Jr.? I can't scan your suitcase, but you can watch me do push-ups in jeans. Can I smell your neck? Clearly, Trump isn't helping. But the question is, who is to blame for the shutdown in the first place? Well, according to a story from Republican Congressman Andy Barr, that definitely happened. It's the Democrats.
I was going through TSA the other day, Maria, and a patriotic, wonderful TSA supervisory officer stopped me, and she told me that she had missed her second paycheck. And I said, I'm so sorry. That's so wrong that you missed your second paycheck. And she said, why are you apologizing? You voted for my paycheck. You voted repeatedly. Republicans have voted repeatedly for a paycheck. It's the Democrats who need to apologize to me.
And then she said to me, "You're an American hero, Andy. Come use the special line we reserve for the most handsome of men." And I did. And as I was collecting my luggage, she said, "Andy, I love you, Andy." And we started to kiss, and she was very attractive, and we got to know each other. And then she had my baby. And then she said, "You don't have to take care of this baby, Andy. You're too important. Plus, you have a flight to catch. Go save the country from the Democrats, who again are bad and evil and not as hot as you, Andy." Thank you. But while Andy Barr's fan fiction about this TSA adventure is obviously bullshit, it's more important to note that the underlying point he was making is also bullshit. Because even Senate Republicans admit this whole thing could have been over by now if not for one man.
Senator Cruz and I came up with a plan. Senator Thune submitted that to President Trump, as is his right. He said no. No deals with the Democrats. We could have had TSA paid by the end of the week, but the president said no deal.
Donald Trump said no deal? The deal maker himself said no deal? So wait. You'll take gifts from a country we're at war with, but you won't make a deal with the Democrats to keep the government running. What if they offered you something really expensive? Donald, what is it that you want? What's so important that you'll keep us all waiting in security lines for a fortnight?
The most important thing we can have is what's called the Save America Act. Don't make any deal on anything unless you include voter ID, and you have to be a citizen to vote. Mail-in voting means mail-in cheating. I call it mail-in cheating.
No, that's right. Trump does not believe in mail-in cheating, all right? If you want to cheat, you do it in person, okay? But hey, Trump is standing on principle. The man thinks voting by mail is an existential threat to democracy, full stop, period.
President Donald Trump cast a mail-in ballot in an upcoming Florida special election.
Semicolon. Asterisk, $, number 4, exclamation point. That's me cursing because Trump lies all the time. So yes, you're gonna have to wait in line at TSA like it's a sneaker drop because voting. It's the kind of logical connection that makes perfect sense if your brains are made of Biscoff. The war in Iran is everywhere. It comes up in financial news because of its effect on oil. It comes up in celebrity news, like when Chaperone's bodyguard made the Ayatollah cry because he looked at her. And now the war is even creeping its way into the weather.
Our eyes right now, weather-wise, are in the Middle East because they have an unusual system that's developing, going to be bringing heavy rain, possible tornadoes. They could be looking at some haboobs developing there.
Excuse me, Al, what did you just say? Haboobs? Haboobs are developing? Al, be a professional, all right? Call them by their scientific name, habrestuses. Am I the only one who doesn't know what he's talking about?
And that's your latest weather.
Guys, Claire, I just learned something new. What exactly is a haboob?
Thank you, Craig Melvin. Very brave to admit on live TV that you've never seen a haboob, let alone felt one. I'm right there with you, brother. All right, so what is it?
It is a massive dust storm. If you remember in Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise running running after that storm, ahead of that storm, that's a haboob.
See, now I get what you're talking about. I would understand the news a lot more if they told me what Tom Cruise movie it pertains to. I need them on the news like what America is doing here is like an impossible mission, like Tom Cruise in the movie Magnolia. So now we all understand haboob means sandstorm, so you can keep your minds out of the gutter. And just so you know, after the haboob, there will be a bukkake of rain coming in. These are all weather terms. But okay, aside from this dust storm developing into a voluptuous woman, how's the war going?
President Trump in the Oval Office yesterday said he's already won the war.
Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won.
You don't like to say you won a war? Isn't that why you fight a war? Be proud of yourself, Mr. President. You ended another war, and this is the one that you started. That's like double points, you know? But you heard the man, we won this war. I bet Iran's begging for a ceasefire right now.
Breaking news, Iran's state-backed media now says Tehran will not accept a ceasefire.
Iranian officials' quote is that Iran will end the war when it decides to do so, and when its own conditions are met.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't end the war. We ended the war, all right? You trying to start another war? Because I'll fight you, and then I'll stop fighting you when I feel like it, because the war is over. You heard the president. We won. We're bringing the troops home.
More than 1,000 additional troops from the 82nd Airborne Division are heading to the Middle East. They'll be joining thousands more Marines, sailors, and other American troops already on their way.
Oh, shit. We're sending more troops? That doesn't sound like the war is over. This is very confusing. Should I or shouldn't I go to Times Square in my sailor outfit to kiss random women? Mr. President, I thought we won.
We've won. Let me say it, we've won.
Of course we won. Those troops are obviously going there to help set up for the victory party, you know? You ever try to set up a bouncy castle with just 1,000 troops? Now that's an impossible mission, like Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. And besides, 1,000 troops isn't even that many. It's actually the lowest thousands of troops you can have. If this war was really ramping up, the Army would need a lot more people than that, you know? They'd probably be trying to get new recruits.
The U.S. Army making some changes to try and draw more recruits. The Army just increased the maximum enlistment age to 42. That's up from 35.
Oh, shit. We're letting 42-year-olds sign up for the military now? They're going to have to change the name from Operation Epic Fury to Operation Why Does My Back Hurt? I must have slept on it funny. Because the likelihood of a 42-year-old being great at war is like any person being great with nunchucks. Some people will be good, but most are going to hurt themselves immediately. Bruce Lee, incredible. My uncle, concussion. Are we sure we won? It's not even a little close.
It's not a close battle. They're totally defeated.
I don't know what it is about you saying it a third time, but I believe you, all right? We gotta be winning this war. You wouldn't lie nonstop. You're the president. Look, according to People magazine and apparently the U.S. military, 42 is the new 35, right? And that's probably all the soldiers we're gonna need anyway.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced an extension to bring back service members who refused the COVID-19 vaccine.
We're extending this to make sure anybody that wants to take advantage of it has additional time to take advantage of it. Maybe you were waiting to see whether we meant it or not. We do.
Oh, shit. That doesn't sound good. When the Secretary of Defense is telling you, I know you didn't want to take the COVID shot, but what about getting gunshot? So you gave people a deadline to re-enlist and they didn't take it, and now you're still extending the deadline to get them back. You are not the one with power. I've been through this entire thing before. My ex left me, and I told her she'd be back in a week. And sure enough, a year later, I got a wedding invitation. So just to recap, the military is now trying to recruit middle-aged people and anti-vaxxers who don't even want to come back. As long as they're not trying to bring in anybody else, maybe we're winning this war.
The Army also changing some regulations to let people enlist without a waiver if they have a single conviction for possession of marijuana or drug paraphernalia.
Okay, this is bad. This is bad. We've been at war a month and you're already down to stoners? This is like that Harold and Kumar movie, Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol. We must be desperate because I've never seen a pothead take a puff and then be like, I want to f somebody up. I wouldn't even trust a stoner with any mission unless that mission is, you need to locate the Ayatollah and tell him the greatest movie ever is Interstellar. Let's kick things off with Homeland Security, which used to be led by Kristi Noem until she was asked to hand in her gun, her badge, and her keys to her plane. Even though Noem is gone, we're still finding out more about her time at DHS, including the $20,000 she spent on a horse rental for a TV ad. Which is crazy. Horses don't even use money. What do they need 20 grand for? But now she's gone, and this week President Trump officially swore in Noem's replacement, Oklahoma Senator and most Oklahoma-sounding man, Markwayne Mullin. Let's see how it went.
As the only Native American, I didn't know that, huh? Let me look at you. Well, I think that's all right.
Let me look at you? Let me look at you feels like racist T-ball. Like, stay right there, be still, I'm about to knock this out of the park. I mean, maybe Trump was just excited because he thinks Markwayne might be one of the Village People. But here's something I noticed. He spent all that time talking about Markwayne being the only Native American senator, and not once did he make an Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas joke. That never would have happened 5 years ago, which means he's either getting less racist or he has dementia. He definitely has dementia. But let's move on to Dr. Oz, Trump's head of Medicare and Medicaid, and guy at the urinal next to you saying your pee should be clearer. He just came out with an important message about your health.
He's on the move. Let's go, Chris. Diane, just join me. I love walking. It's a whole special joy. It makes you think a little clearer, get outside a little bit, get your heart pumping. It turns out if you could walk just 20 minutes a day, it could save our country $100 billion in reduced health expenditures. That's why it's so important to create a little flash mob. Let's go, team.
This is what happens when you try to do one of those Jennifer Hudson spirit tunnels, but you only have white people. Also, no one exercises to improve the government's finances. Imagine if your Peloton instructor was like, okay, 5 more minutes and Kash Patel can fly private to Burning Man. But are we really advertising walking? Isn't that like a basic biological activity? What's the next video in this series? Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Have you tried shitting in a toilet? It could save us billions. But at least Dr. Oz is an actual doctor. You can't say the same for RFK Jr. He's our health secretary and also the man that looks like last year's Halloween pumpkin you forgot to throw out. If you questioned his judgment after those stories came out about him taking home dead whales and dead bears, I have great news. There's a new animal you can add to the list.
The New York Post reports that in a 2001 diary entry, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wrote about cutting off the penis of a road-killed raccoon while his kids waited patiently in the car so that he could examine it later.
What is wrong with this man? He cut off a raccoon's penis and saved it for later like some kind of raccoon dick push pop. And I know he put it right in his jeans pocket, too. Didn't even wrap it in a tissue or anything. Every time I hear about one of these RFK stories, they always mention that his kids were waiting patiently. Which means RFK just doesn't know the difference between patience and horror. I'm sure all the hostages in a bank robbery are waiting patiently to go home. It must have been so traumatic for his kids. Any car trip with him could turn into a roadkill excursion at any moment. When he asks his kids if they want to go run errands with him, they must be like, can't you just beat us? I mean, use an extension cord like a regular dad. Regardless, you will never, and I mean never, beat RFK Jr. in a game of Never Have I Ever. You'd be sitting with them like, never have I ever eaten a raccoon's, I did it. I didn't even say what part yet, doesn't matter. But let's move on to Donald Trump's third and definitely, probably final wife, Melania. She doesn't spend a lot of time with her husband these days, but don't worry, I'm sure she's doing normal, traditional First Lady things.
Humanoid robot Figure 3 made its debut at the White House on Wednesday as part of First Lady Melania Trump's Fostering the Future Together summit.
Wow. I don't know if he's been eating better, but Donald Trump looks great. Look, I know this is supposed to be for some kind of technology event, but look at this video. She's walking out with that robot like they just got married. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Wally. And by the way, I like how Melania is flexing on that robot with her walk. Like, she's got a whole runway walk going while that robot is just doing the Biden shuffle. But anyway, after that weird entrance, it was time to get down to business. So Melania let the robot approach the table and take a seat so they could... Wait, robot, where are you going? Robot, come back. Don't go in that room. All our secrets are in that room. But the robot eventually found its way back to the front of the room, and it was time to see what this Terminator had to say.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House.
Oh, damn. That robot's a lady. I think that's pretty cool, but I'm sure Siri's pissed. You gave her legs? She just got here.